Over the weekend, I saw footage from the RT show Adam and the Man with Adam Kokesh. I've been a guest on there a few times. It's a great show. It's got Luke Rudowski as a contributor as well. And Adam is a American activist, talk radio host. Kokesh was a corporal, United States Marine Corps, and a veteran of the Iraq War. He is an outspoken opponent of U.S. military intervention in Iraq. Since 2010, Kokesh has hosted, the TV show Adam versus the Man. And he also hosts a show out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. AdamVersusTheMan.com is the website. But the reason I wanted to get him on is last week they tried to go to the memorial, the Jefferson Memorial, and just quietly dance. I guess kind of like Charlie Veach and the Love Police, to illustrate no matter how loving what you do is, they want to arrest you. And I can't play the whole 10-minute clip here, but it's up on Infowars.com. It's up at RT, Adam versus the Man. But they ask him, they go, what's the law? And they say, I'm not going to tell you. There is no law. Okay? And they body slam him into the ground. We're going to play that clip in a moment. But the issue here is, compare this to Texas, where I march in with over 100 people, yell and scream in the politicians' faces, and they understand that's their place. Just like in Madison, Wisconsin. In a free country, the government fears the people don't fear the government. And things are becoming completely 180 degrees in the direction that they should be. And so joining us is Adam Kokesh. Adam, what made you decide to do this demonstration?
I just felt like dancing. We were challenging the cops to a dance-off, and apparently they didn't like our move. So they decided to end it a little bit forcefully. But if you see the video and you see what happened, I think we made our point, and we proved that the Parks Police, as I would say to one of the officers there, nice badge, sorry about your penis. But they're not very good dancers, and they're obviously compensated for something. But I think you really hit the nail on the head here about the nature of government and fear, and why this is such a powerful action, and why we have now thousands of people coming back to the Jefferson Memorial next Saturday on June 4th, the anniversary of Tiananmen Square, to dance again and show them that their court rulings and their laws are irrelevant. When we want to go out, we want to have fun, and we want to assert our rights, we're going to do it. Whether or not they're going to stop us, it's not going to matter. And we show the true nature of the police force with this. It's they want us to be afraid, and I think the police officers there, they knew they were being filmed. They wanted to have forceful arrests. They wanted to show people getting hurt. They wanted
to show us they were the boss. What about this? Some of the peaceful demonstrators who were doing German waltzes silently with the guy with his girlfriend, they slam him in. They're slamming their,
like swaying back and forth.
That's right. They arrested people, for folks watching on TV, for just barely moving now does not show proper respect to our gods. But expanding on that, Adam, then some of you dare say, what am I being charged with? What have I done wrong? And they say, shut up, and begin slamming people against the wall for then daring speak to the gods, even while they're under arrest. And police now admit they use tasers as a punishment as well.
Well, it's not exactly the gods, but pretty close. We were at Thomas Jefferson Memorial, and it was really cool. At the end of this event, the statue of Thomas Jefferson came alive and started shooting lasers out of its eyes and killed all the police officers. They were vaporized instantly. So at least there was justice served at the Jefferson Memorial on Saturday. But no, we're talking about the foremost defender of speech and liberty in America's history. But as I've been finding out from people commenting on my Facebook page, it's been really ironic. But Thomas Jefferson, incidentally, was a large promoter of dancing and liked to play the violin, and would spontaneously bust out his fiddle and encourage people to dance. It's just amazing, the irony to this. It just keeps getting compounded more.
No, I understand, Adam. Let's expand on this now. A few dozen of you were there, it looks like, where this happened. Now you're coming back this next weekend, and you're asking for more people to show up. I think this is very important. Tell us the date and time and why you're doing this.
Well, yeah, because the Hitler meme on YouTube, people putting their own captions on that scene from the movie where Hitler's angry with all of his generals. They did one about this. They actually mentioned you in it. said Alex Jones. It said Alex Jones would have real credibility if Kokesh's people are able to challenge this authority here. And, that's what this is about. It's about peaceful civil disobedience. We're going to go back. We're going to dance. We're going to tell them it doesn't matter. But in that video, they're saying, look, we take and we poison their air and their water. We feel their daughters' vaginas at the airports. And now they won't just stop dancing. And I think that's the power of an event like this. So next Saturday at noon on June 4th, we are going back to the Jefferson Memorial. We're asking people to join us. Just join us in dancing silently with your headphones on. We're not going to interrupt any tourists that might be there, their ability to enjoy the memorial the way that the judge who decided that this was illegal would see fit. We're going to do our thing. We're going to express ourselves. We are going to pay homage to Thomas Jefferson, not the way that the government sees fit, but the way that we see fit. And what we really revealed with what we did about this that is inspiring so many people to be involved, why we know we're going to have way more dancers backing us up for round 2 of this dance-off with the Parks Police, is...
well, that's right, Adam. You've got to illustrate the absurdity by illustrating how absurd they are.
The idea that the police force is there to keep you safe or to protect you from terrorists or to chase down criminals, those are just excuses for the two true real purposes of the police state for the government, which is to generate revenue for the government and to control the population. And that fact was really laid bare by what we did and the actions of the police there on Saturday.
Adam, let me ask you a question, and then we're going to play a clip and call you back on a landline here, or at least try to, so we can hear you clearer. Have you seen the footage of the way the state police, Capitol Police in Texas, honored free speech, honored the First Amendment?
All right, hold on. We're just losing you right. I'm in the RT studios right now. We just so happen after the RT operation in here, we have an FBI office upstairs, so we might be getting a little bit of interference. So why don't you go ahead and play that clip, and I'll stay on the line and get that number, and I'll be able to get you back on a landline here.
Okay, we'll call you right back, Adam. We're going to go ahead and play this clip of the folks dancing, and then once they started arresting members that were dancing, Adam and others would just barely move their arms like they were grooving a little bit, and the cops would run over, and they look, most of them like 12-year-olds on power trips, slam them down to the ground, jump on them, and then once they had them in handcuffs, they would shove them against the wall if they dared talk. And I also wanted to ask Adam, I've been to D.C. twice in the last few years, and every time the police, the security guards that they have out in public places, treat you like you're in North Korea. I mean, they scream at you with hatred like you have murdered their children. And they've obviously been told, run the slaves into submission, break their will. And that's what this is all about. Let's go ahead and play that clip. Here it is.
We're in love. Touching each other. So we're stopping. We're stopping. We're stopping. You are not arresting us for standing
for what? Here it is. Don't even give me a warning. Dancing in a public area. Give me a warning.
We can dance if we want to. We can leave our friends behind. Because if cops don't dance, and if they don't dance with us, no friends of mine. Unbelievable.
And they start arresting people that dare even swing their arms. He's going to arrest them.
I don't even know what the sergeant is. You're allowed to dance in America, sir.
And look, they keep dancing, illustrating how absurd this is. I mean, nothing's more important than our liberties and our freedoms. Meanwhile, the borders are wide open, war is increasing. Foreign banks have stolen $27 trillion and growing. There's a young woman being arrested. Oh, here's the slamming into the ground.
I got a broken shoulder. I've got a bad shoulder.
All right. Well, there you have it. And then the footage goes on. I suggest you watch the whole clip. It's AdamVersusTheMan.com or Infowars.com. It's up on both sites. That once they get them in that position, then if they dare speak back to their kings, they're physically attacked. Land of the free, home of the brave. You can tell the government is here to let us know that we basically better step and fetch it. Now, Adam, you live in D.C. now, so did I just have bad luck the last 2 times I was there to be 200 yards from the Washington Memorial, videotaping for B-roll, and to have people run up and threaten to arrest me, or videotape from across the street at a park, the Library of Congress,
I wish I could say that was bad
Supreme
luck,
Court,
or that was because people, especially would know who you are here, but they do that to anybody who's a threat in D.C. That's just how it works. That's how it's set up. It's intended to suppress dissent. So that.
But I want to be clear. I'm clean cut.
Happen in D.C.
Listen, I'm clean cut with a national news crew. Just a couple guys with cameras on parks, anywhere, on sidewalks, and they run over and get in your face and say you can't videotape. And then the production crew said, funny, we went to the D.C. government and asked for permits, and they say we're a permit-free city. So you got to get a permit that doesn't exist, Adam.
Well, I would never attribute to conspiracy what can be adequately explained by government incompetence, and that is certainly in abounds here with the confusion between 13 different agencies or so that have jurisdiction within the District of Columbia, but they all have, the same law enforcement police state mentality, the same intent of suppressing rights and making sure that troublemakers stay out of the way of the politicians doing their thing, screwing over the rest of America.
Let me ask you this, because your phone was cutting out and you couldn't hear me. Have you seen our storming of the Texas Capitol?
Yes.
And how can you...
We played a clip of that on Adam versus the Man after it happened. I was very excited that you did something like that, and very glad, because we covered it in terms of, Rick Perry not having a spine to stand up to the federal government. He's about to run for president. I mean, should the Republican Party be supporting such a supporter of the federal government over states' rights? That's pretty offensive, and I was really glad that you were there to call that out and stick it to him for that.
Sure. The reason I raise it, though, is illustrating our state police showing how government servants act, honoring our boisterous, in-their-face activity versus you guys, what they did to you in D.C. I mean, the 2 different Americas.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And this is something that I didn't expect to be so compelling, but it's kind of striking now, the significance of this, Obviously, if you look at the footage, I'm not much of a dancer. And if there was such a thing as a legal definition of dancing, the cops there were just as guilty of it as we were. But a lot of people are saying, well, even if there is a legal definition of dancing, there is no way that Adam Kokesh can be guilty of this, because the video clearly demonstrates that I can't dance. The thing is, about it being about dancing, I know it's ridiculous. But the reason I mention that Hitler video is because it really lays it bare, and it talks about you and your message. And it's like, if you say, come protest Monsanto, come protest the war, come protest the president, it doesn't work. And I've been doing that too, and that's the thing that I've been blown away by the power of this, that I never expected it to take off the way it has. Our video that we put up was the second one that got on YouTube. It's already over 650,000 views right now. The thing is, yesterday we weren't even the top viewed video in news and politics on YouTube. We were the top 3 viewed videos on news and politics. It has been reposted. It is going truly viral. People all over the world now are organizing events to dance in solidarity with us on next Saturday at noon. We have people coming from as far away as Dallas. A friend of mine, Jared Atkinson, who's a big Ron Paul activist down there, he's flying in to D.C. for this. We have people all over the Eastern Seaboard driving in saying, all right, you want to make it about dancing? Let's dance. And they're throwing down, and this is the thing that's bringing people together. This is the thing that lays it bare, for which none of their propaganda, none of their arguments, none of their bullshit divide and conquer strategies, none of that is going to mean crap next Saturday. People are coming together to say, you can't tell us not to dance. Simple as that. And it's so beautiful to see how people are coming together about this. And it's all the videos that people are remixing for this. I mean, I told you, there's 2 other videos that have over 400,000 views. There's a dozen videos that are 100,000 views plus right now. People are reposting, the interview I did with Russia Today yesterday. It's really amazing how this is getting around, and people are quoting Gandhi now, saying, from the movie. You know, they can break my bones, they can kill me, but when they do, all they will have is my dead body, but not my obedience. And when I got arrested, I was wearing very deliberately my Gandhi T-shirt. It had a Gandhi's portrait on it, and in the style of the Andre the Giant, obey, except underneath it says disobey.
Well, Adam, that's my point, is that the tyranny has gotten so absurdist now that the Texas tyrants did the smart thing and didn't arrest us because they knew it would lead to a chain reaction. Yep. The D.C. tyrants did the wrong thing, and it's now going to backfire. High noon, yep. The Jefferson Memorial, it's a genius idea, and we've got to illustrate the tyrants' absurdity by making them show us who they really are. They could have laughed. The guards could have even joined you. It would have been a great...
See, that's the funniest thing. If they had done nothing, who would have been the bigger ass? I would have stood there and danced for 10 minutes. We would have all looked at each other awkwardly and walked away and been like, yeah, we defeated this little judge's ruling. And now it's a global phenomenon. And I'm flattered that so many people are inspired by it, because I really wasn't counting on it. But now I'm kind of smacking myself in the forehead going, duh, but when I saw this event, it wasn't my idea. I got to give credit to the other organizers, Eddie Dickey and Jared Denman, who came up with the idea after the court ruling that said you couldn't dance there. And I saw it, and I was just like, absolutely, I'm getting behind that. And then the video happened, the incident happened on Saturday. The video's getting around, and it's just kind of taken off from there. But that's what's so beautiful.
Adam, stay there. I know you've got to go, but I want to hold you for 5 more minutes into the next segment, because this is very exciting what's happening, and it shows the incredible hunger for liberty and people wanting to resist. I want to talk to you about the TSA on the other side. Can we get people to peacefully storm their capitals as well nationwide? It's up to the people. Watching the footage of Adam Kokesh and others being arrested, you see this little toady who's a, quote, professional tour guide, very pleased they're being arrested. And then the cops are kind of shoving him out of the way, and he starts groveling to them. You see these people that think freedom is all about licking government boots. We need everywhere to let the system know that they're not going to cow us. And Adam, earlier when your cell phone was cutting out, I want you to continue with the point you were trying to make, that if they're sticking their hands down our pants, if they're grabbing us, this is about, you're not going to dance, we're going to touch your private parts, we're going to take blood at checkpoints. I mean, we've got to stand up and reignite that spirit of liberty, and to watch how what you guys have done is catching fire, what I've done, what Ron Paul. Anytime somebody stands up for liberty, it's having a huge effect because people are hungry for it. Please continue.
Sure. Well, it's from that. I got the idea from the video that someone made on the Hitler in the bunker meme that's so popular on YouTube, and it's like Adam Kokesh finds out, or Hitler finds out about the Adam Kokesh dance party, and he's saying, "How is this possible? We feel their daughters' vaginas at the airports. We tax them for 50% of their income. They don't have any freedoms left anyways. Of course, why wouldn't they obey us? They have to obey us. They have to stop dancing." And one of the generals there, it cuts to the general. The general goes, "Mein Führer, I'm sorry. It didn't work as planned. Actually, they're coming back next Saturday," and that's when he really explodes and says, "Well, if this works, people are gonna be giving Alex Jones even more credibility," and it's really powerful. But that's the thing, and it's like. Why we the people took it to this point. We let our government get away with all of this other crap, and then we're surprised that they say, "No, you can't dance here."
And by the way, if they want to call out the police dogs and the sound cannons, then same thing happened to Gandhi being beat in the head. Then that'll cause even more people to stand up and say no, because the British Empire did the same absurdist things there. Well, I want to commend you and the other activists there in D.C. Too bad Luke couldn't be there, but I know he's now gone to Europe ahead of time.
I think he's going to be dancing in solidarity with us, and that's what's really cool about this. That so many people are inspired by what's going on. There are events being organized in Texas, even. I bet there's going to be one at the Capitol in Austin. Do a little jig at noon for us in solidarity, if you like. But we are literally dancing down the police state here.
Well, I have to commend you, and the good news in Texas is they're going to a special session. We need to try to get Perry to add to the special session the anti-groping bill. Perry claimed that he was backed off by the feds, but notice he didn't add this to the special session, showing us that through Dewhurst, who we know killed it behind the scenes, that he doesn't want to be forced to vote on this as he gets ready to run for president. So it's not just that he's been cowed. He is a creature of Karl Rove and this system. So no orders from headquarters, just whoever's against this tyranny, show up at the Jefferson Memorial.
Yep.
And hopefully you guys can then go dance at some other memorials afterwards.
Absolutely. And this is not something that is being organized or put together by anybody. I'm just inviting my friends to come join me next Saturday. If you think that making dancing is illegal, is bad, then show up Saturday at noon at the Jefferson Memorial. There's a Facebook event called Dance Party at TJ's, so check it out. It's on my page for Adam versus the Man there. You can just search on Facebook for Adam Kokesh. It's Kokesh, AdamVersusTheMan.com. You'll find it all there. But it's so beautiful. I really want people to help share this, even if they don't want to be a part of it physically. And apparently you don't have to be much of a dancer to get arrested for dancing. You can, as you said, Alex, you can just be swaying your arms and being in the wrong place.
And imagine the headlines worldwide. You know, they talk about other countries where they arrest violent protesters and how it's wrong. Imagine people arrested in Beijing today in Tiananmen Square for dancing. Imagine American government arrests thousands for dancing. It just illustrates how out of control these thugs are. Adam will continue to talk to you throughout the week as this develops. Stay with us. Tons of news coming up.